G'day YouTube, my name's Lance, welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, 23 to 31 and 100% humidity this morning. Yeah, the humidity's just bloody draining, you know, like 31's not bad, but the humidity that's coming with it at the moment, oh man, bloody saps it out of you. Not to worry though, yeah, well, we'll survive. The shirt's wet all the time, and you get a bit of a, well I do anyway, just a bit of a heat rash up around my shoulders because my shirt's just wet from start of the day to finish normally, so it, yeah, sorts you out a little bit. I've got a few fans in the shed here that I have here and there, and just try and keep the air moving a little bit, and with the roof up fairly high, like it's 4.8 metres to the guttering on the outside there, yeah, that gives me a bit of gap, so when it's sunny the sun's not so bad, but yeah, it's hard to keep motivated through the middle of the day, so we get up and about early and get going. We've just about to head off on this Wednesday, heading away for probably 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks in there somewhere. We'll probably be back in Bundy Bear around the 25th, the weekend of the 25th or 22nd or something like that of March, and yeah, back into the shed playing. But in the meantime, this weekend, young Freya was crook, and look, she got a bit of a flu type thing, and she wasn't eating and wasn't drinking and all that, so she ended up with 2 nights up in the local base hospital, and yeah, so they're sort of a bit worried about it because she seems to go downhill quickly when she gets crook. But anyway, they fed some drips into her and kept her going, and she's okay now. But today being Monday, she hasn't got clearance to go back to daycare yet, but she was here yesterday, and yeah, she was pottering around like normal, bit of a snuffy nose, and that was about it. So, but anyway, Judy's gone to work early. Jude would have been at work well before 6 o'clock this morning. And then when Tim drops young Arrow off at school, around 8:30, he's going to drop Freya in at work, then Judy will come home and childmind for the day with young Freya. So, but with Freya being a bit crook, we've had Arrow here for the whole weekend. Which is good. Yeah, he comes up the shed and buggers around, but man, like, my shed's never that tidy. I'm always a bit messy, but when I've got the young bloke here, it's super messy. just doing things, you know, spending time together, and look, I got him out the front of the shed there, and we cut a couple of old pallets and got the reciprocating saw, and we chopped a few pallets up and mucked around like that. Then we got the fire lit yesterday morning down, you know, the rubbish fire with all the prunings and all that, and he's poking sticks in there and buggering around there for a while, and then had to come and get the welding mask, and I said, so we could look at the fire through the welding mask, and I said, you make sure you put that back. Yeah, no worries, Poppy, yeah. So anyway, it gets thrown in the front door of the shed there, and yeah, I showed him on a wrecking bar how you can bang the wrecking bar in under a board and pull it out, so we did a bit of that, but yeah, I said this morning, the wrecking bar and the hammer and all that are just out the front of the shed in the grass. So I'll have to rouse on him and keep him honest with that. Some of the plates for under the under the bell housings on the 35, 65, 135 and that, we did another run of those through the week, and I was trying to get him to aerosol them, you know, just a bit of CRC primer. And I was trying to get this message through to him to come around the edges and then do the top, but he just wanted to hold it on the top and watch the paint build up and blow bubbles and things. So we've got I need to do a bit more training there, see how we go, but yeah, didn't get a lot done in the shed. Yeah, because you've got kids around and things like that, and we're trying to tidy the place up before we go away, and I've got all the front half of the paddock slashed. And we're going away Wednesday morning early, so it's Monday now, so I'm going to try and leave the mowing around the sheds and that here until Tuesday afternoon. Saturday evening we had 8 mils of rain, and that's where the humidity's from, you know, there's a fair bit of cloud cover. But so through the centre of the day or through the middle, I'm trying to stay inside here and bugger about a bit. And the rest of the time, early nights and afternoons, we're trying to be outside, and yeah, there's a bit of breeze comes, but this morning it is just still, no breeze. I mean, no breeze, just hot. So yeah, we'll get the stew done and we'll get to cleaning up the shed in here. Where I slashed the other day, Judy and Arrow got the 148 with the carry-all, and they got a heap of the cut grass and they've mulched around the trees in the orchard. And that gives Arrow a chance to have a drive on the tractor, you know, hop up and do the steering. And where he goes past, you give him a wave, and he's that serious that he's doing a good job. He hasn't got time to take a hand off to give you a wave. He's right in it. I mean, so anyway, and yeah, I got the ants sprayed around the house up the top there. Yeah, with a lot of ants. You know, the ants can pick the weather, I reckon, and oh, we've had ants inside the house everywhere, and we're keeping the benches clean and things like that, and not leaving any food around. But the little turds, they seem to sneak in on you. And so I've sprayed all around the outside, around the windows, and where I know they come in. So I've got a bit of heavy duty spray that the old man left here. He used to be a pest control bloke, and he had a bit of spray. When he parked up, I found it in his shipping container, so I've gone around and done a bit of a run with that. And yeah, and I noticed there's none around this morning, so that's a good thing. So, I mean. So, yeah, I'm having today and tomorrow off. I just got so much to bloody do to get ready to go away. And I was saying to Jude this morning, this is what always happens is, yeah, you get the car ready, and I've got to bring it up the back and give it a good wash, and you know, check the air pressures and all that sort of thing, and you start running around and my legs start playing up because I'm just doing all these jobs. You know, get the orchard tidy so it's good for when we come back, and get the paddock slashed and the lawns mowed up the front there so there's no, you know, if a fire come through or something, it's not near the house for Adele and there's no snakes around or anything like that. Then get the shed all tidied up, and I want to tidy the shed up today and tomorrow. So when I come back from a break, I don't walk into this bloody shit fight with just junk everywhere. My bench here is just looks like a bomb went off on it. Nothing new there, eh? And, but I'm going to tidy up and sweep the floors and all that, so when I come back from my break, it's a nice place to walk into. I'll see how my knees are going, and I'll click in and see what can happen. But yeah, we've been playing up a bit lately, but like Jude says, well, you're never off it. You know, I keep bugging around too much, doing jobs and things like that. So anyway, we'll go away and have a break and do a lot of sitting in the car and see if that helps it out a bit. My arm from the skin cancers, that's going good. I've got a few scars up here, but all in all, just this one to go yet. You can see I've got a big bruise. Yeah, I think you can see that on the camera. A bruise from around there and up there and around. Anyway, all whinging. But no, the club engine, the 3 horsepower International Famous, I've been restoring for the club. Saturday morning I thought, well, it's just about time I should be able to start this old girl. And they're a simple engine, and there's not much to them. If you've got spark and compression and a bit of fuel going in the back end there, well, away they'll go. And if you have a look at the shorts, I put a little short on the first run of it on Saturday, and oh, my shirt's getting sticky already. And but I did the magneto up, and yeah, you can put the magneto in the vise here, and I can, you know, cock it, then flick that, and bang, you get a blue spark down the end there. And I had to adjust the one off that a little bit, and I wound and wound and wound that bloody thing, and you just get a poof, poof. And that was about it. And so I sat there and I checked timing. And I've got a little booklet, the operator's book, and you know, when the flywheel spokes are in the north-south position with the flywheel weight this side. If you're running at 400 RPM, you have it triggering there, and if you want to run it lower, you can actually retard the timing a little bit, so it goes a bit further. So I played with that and got that right then. But yeah, I wound and wound that bloody thing, and it had me second guessing. I was even hopping up looking at the other engines, checking marks and checking travel and all that, and I thought, oh, this bloody thing. And so anyway, I pulled the magneto off, which I've done up over here. You know, I put new wires and remagnetised and everything, and took it back off, put it here and triggered it, and yeah, there's my little spark, no worries. Put it back on, I wound, and that's where this come from. Sometimes when you wind, and it come off the drive dog, your hand had hit on the crank, and so that's just from trying to start that bloody engine. But anyway, I stuck with it, and 4 or 5 hours I was buggering around, and I was just tearing my hair out. I was thinking, yeah, everything's right. I just could not see what was wrong with it at all, and pulled the magneto off the second time, put it on the bench here, click, there's my spark. You know, you can adjust the little rod at the back here, so that the point's open at the exact highest spark, and I fiddled with that, and I went in a few turns and out a few turns, and I got it to the biggest, bluest spark, and I don't know, bloody thing. And what they were saying was, when they took the engine out one time to run it at a show, it seemed to get hard. You know, they didn't know why it wouldn't keep running, and you know, it seemed to labour a little bit in black smoke and it just wouldn't fire. And, but anyway, we still haven't found that. But anyway, in my frustration, I have a couple of these magnetos, like these Websters. I've got half a dozen of these, and if I ever saw one for sale, they're that hard to come by with the bracket and all that on them, I'd buy them. So I've got a few, so I thought, I don't know, this bloody thing. I went and got one out of the fridge and put it in here, clicked it, bang, blue spark, no worries. And I thought, all right, I'll put this one on the engine. Well, bloody second crank away it went, run like a beauty. So I got the one that I'd done up, put it in here and flicked it, looks the same. So pulled the other one off, looks the same. So put the new one back on, the other one I'd done back on, no bloody go. And took it off, put the old one back on, and it runs like a beauty, and I've had it running for probably 4 or 5 hours with it on, and yeah, it seems to run okay. I've got a couple of little water leaks. Some of the water pipe, where it comes down, it's just a little drip on it, but anyway, I'm going to pull it off and we're going to Loctite it all up. I think I must have missed a couple because I was there for a while, but look, it runs nicely. The timing that was on the engine originally was wrong. I noticed when I was running it, there we go, instead of those engines, when the exhaust stroke's out, it's usually chunk, or you know, a bit of a crack, but it was going bang and bloody, and then you could hear when it holds the exhaust valve down for the hit and miss section, you know, so it can coast, you could hear this, and that was an indication that the exhaust valve wasn't opening far enough, and the gas trying to get out was getting forced past a valve that wasn't fully open. So with it running, I got a screwdriver and put in between the valve clearance, and that just stopped that problem. So I advanced the timing, advanced it right up, because the timing was out and it was way too far retarded. Where they said to hook it up, I knew it was round a bit, you know, where they said for the 400. I didn't worry too much on the second Maggie. But anyway, I brought it right up to advanced where they reckon it should be, and that got rid of that real hard crack. And I lengthened the push rod to the exhaust rocker, and that let it coast a lot more, because when they're in the mist and the exhaust valve's held down, usually they just sort of roll around and you just hear the clunk, clunk of all the stuff working. And yeah, once we extended the push rod and had the exhaust valve open quite a bit further, the whole thing just runs freer. So a bit of a learning thing there with that. I've never had to fiddle with one so much, but you know, a few people have had a go at it, so I suppose that's all right. But now I can start it and run it and wind it, but I still have to sort that magneto out. I've got the old Maggie, the one out of the fridge on it, the old Tasky one, and I can start it and run it and not get a sore arm and, and things like that. But I do have one problem. It's, oh look, I suppose it's reasonably major. Is I was going to make 4 new head bolts for it, and I looked at them and I thought, oh, they don't look too bad. And I didn't put any gunk on the head gasket, and near the magneto, when it gets hot, it doesn't do it for ages and ages, but when it gets really hot, you can just see one little bubble of water will come down, and I was sitting watching it and you just see a little drip, and I'm thinking, where'd that come from? So I'm out there looking and nothing, and then a little bubble comes out. Oh, there it is. So I cleaned around the head nuts a little bit and upped them with the bar, but I reckon I got one head stud right near there that's stretching. Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. So what I'll probably do, where the paint is around the head gasket, I usually just run a little blade, this little king chrome little knife around the head gasket, and then you can lift the whole lot off without tearing paint and things like that. So I think I'm going to make 4 new head studs, make them out of 4140. I think that'll fix that problem. And now I know it runs and all that, well, I'll probably put a bit of goo on the head gasket, but I didn't put any. I thought, well, I'll just pop it on in case I've got to get it off. You know, these engines, when you're doing them, yeah, you just, I just use grease and things like that. With them telling me originally that, I'm looking away, but I'm looking at the engine, bloody thing. And when I did the backlash in the conrod and the big end bearings, and Tony was saying that he felt that the engine was starting to sort of lock up a little bit, and that's why, black smoke would start, but it eventually stopped and they couldn't get it running again. And so I made a couple of shims for the big end bearing, just to make sure there was plenty of clearance there. I can hear them knocking a little bit, so I'll pull the plate off and I'll pull those shims back out, and we'll give it another run, and we'll just play with that a little bit until it's just ideal. The crank's out around a little bit, so you've got to watch where you do that. But I put extra in, and they were just a piece of drink can, aluminium sheet. But I will pull them back out and see how it goes as it was. But yeah, look, it's running beautiful now. It's going really well. But I've got a couple of jobs to do. I thought as part of today's stew, I'll try and get it out on the grass and give it a run, and I'll walk around with the camera a bit later. There's still jobs to do on it, fix a couple of water leaks and things like that. But the more I run it, the better it'll be, because we've got those big new piston rings to run in, and she's certainly got some compression. But it'll get more and more as we run it more and more. The exhaust's on a bit of a lean because the little piece of exhaust pipe that goes into the head where the elbow is, it won't tighten up, and if you leave it vertical it wants to drop down, so I've got it jammed up tight across the other way. So I'll probably make a slightly longer piece of pipe for that, and with a smaller, with a fatter thread. Like this thing's probably 100 years old. Well, the engine's 110, sorry, to 1914 model. So with the exhaust, I often put a stainless steel pot scourer in there just to take the bang out and make it a little, and yeah, it seems to make them a nice engine. So anyway, I spent most of Saturday doing that. And look, we have got it running now, and it runs well now, but as I said, I've got a couple of jobs to do. Now, okay, these bolts for the lift cylinder on the Massey Ferguson 20. Now, in the background, where are we here? I've got some studs out of Sparex, and the part number is S41520, and they're the long studs, and the 41621 are the short ones. And when I got them, I noticed that up the end here, you can see that little hole, and that hole goes to about there somewhere. So I got onto Sparex and I said, what's going on with this shit? You're selling me rubbish. So I went and made some bolts, but and anyway, I had to draw up what was going on, take photos and all that. And Caleb sent it away to Brett, which was the technical bloke in Australia, and he sent it over to England and says, what's the go here? I've never seen this before. And they asked me, have you ever seen that before, a hole in the end? And I said, no, I'm a bit reluctant to use it because I was thinking the hole was sort of going right up here and that's your shear point. And I was thinking, well, that's bloody rubbish. So anyway, so Brett took it to Sparex UK, and Sparex UK came back with a drawing. And I'm not sure if I can get the drawing on the screen here, but if I can, I will. And back in 1977, this is a 78 tractor, but in 1977, Massey Ferguson brought out a drawing with this pocket in these studs. And the story was that what was happening was people were getting these studs, not cleaning the threads out properly, or they were getting a bit of a hydraulic lock and they were just screwing these into the lift cylinder and they were cracking the lift cylinder. And so Massey Ferguson was looking at a way to stop them doing this, which might mean it's fairly thin up there, I don't know. And so what they've done in the drawing, yeah, there's a little cone in here, and this air pocket is to, if there's any air in there, it'll compress into this little pocket in the end there, or if there's any rubbish there, it'll go up in there. So these, apparently if you buy genuine Massey Ferguson ones nowadays, you will have that hole in them in the end. It's okay, and it finishes about 2 or 3 threads before the, well, yeah, 2 or 3 threads from the shoulder where the plane starts there. So yeah, so you can screw them in, and the shear point's still up here because you've got plenty of thread down there. You've got plenty of thread so they can't pull out. Your shear strength is up here still because they sort of sit down, they sit about 1 millimetre down into the cylinder. So there you go. So if you get one of those, they've given me the drawing to prove it. So I'm going to use them. I went and bought some bolts because I was thinking, oh, this is giving me the shits. Yeah, so I went and bought some bolts and I made some, and I was going to cut them off to exact length and bug around with it, nice solid ones. But anyway, I'm going to use the Sparex ones now. Yeah, but they're fine like that. So if you get one of them, that's the story. So yeah, something a bit different, isn't it? But anyway. But look, that's it for this morning. I don't know what sort of stews are going to come out while we're away. Look, there'll be a bit of content. I'm thinking there might be a few more shorts pop out. Shorts will be nice and easy to pop out just to keep you engaged and let you know what we're doing and things like that. We'll just see. My new camera, it's a cracker for doing shorts. I've got that worked out. The vertical famous video I put in the other day, I should have turned it sideways, but I buggered that bit up. But anyway, I thought, oh, I'm just going to put it out there anyway. It's worth having a look. So, but anyway, so I don't know when I'll see you. I've just been charging drone batteries and charging all my camera gear up and making sure it's all clean and serviced and all that sort of thing. I've still got to continue on with that. I've got to get this stew edited today or tomorrow before we go and get it uploaded. It takes a long time to upload at home here. I do have to do a run into the shop and pick up pallets and things like that out of the way as well. So, but anyway, look, thanks for dropping by, everyone. I'll see. I'm going to try and get a video of the famous. It'll be on the end here if I did. If I didn't, we'll catch up with that. So, but anyway, look, have a good week, everyone, and yeah, we'll catch you later on, eh? See ya.